Hey guys, Tyler here, and this is the Garage Warrior podcast and videocast. And I'm super excited today to have on the call with me John Romaniello. How's it going today, John?
It's going great, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you taking the time out of your Friday today to get on the call with me and just kind of shoot the shit about how to look, feel, and perform your best. John, for people who may not know who you are, can we just start out by just giving like a 50,000 mile view? Who are you, and what are you hoping to teach people?
Sure. Oh man, this is. I just assume everyone knows who I am. I've got my own Wikipedia page. Uh, so, my name is Giovanni Vincenzo Romanello III. I was born on a snowy night in April 1982. So that's how it started. And these days, I live in Southern California. I'm a New York Times best-selling author of a book called Man 2.0: Engineering the Alpha, a real-world guide to an unreal life. In addition to that, I run one of the more popular fitness blogs in the world called RomanFitnessSystems.com, the author of a couple of hundred articles, close to a dozen e-products, the book, and and I really like pie is the other one. That's what you need to know.
Okay,
So,
cool. So if we run into you, we should make sure to get you some pie,
yes, I am a big fan of pie.
huh?
Because it's still, yeah, I like actually pretty much all desserts. Adam Bornstein, my co-author in the book, and we have this like 10-year vision where one day we're going to get out of the fitness industry and open a restaurant called Steaks and Cakes, and it's just going to be meat and dessert. It's going to be
That sounds actually like a pretty fun
it's
place.
like
I
the
would enjoy
best
it
place
there.
ever.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, man. Well, so I think it's so cool that you became a best-selling author now with Engineering the Alpha. I have a copy myself, and it's a fantastic book. I got a question for you first up. How did you get Arnold Schwarzenegger to write the forward to that?
So, like many things, it's really all about who you know. About 3 years ago, I was lucky enough to get connected um, with Daniel Ketchel, who is Arnold Schwarzenegger's body man. That's a political term for like a politician's closest personal aide. Daniel was a fan of mine because he's really into fitness. Emailed me one day, hey, is it cool if I email you some questions? I know you do Q&As, but I sort of have a public job, um, and I don't want all my business out there. I'm like, all right, sure. And then one day I got bored and Googled him, and what came up was the Wikipedia page for the term body man, and it said Daniel Ketchel, special assistant to Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I was like, all right, this guy's getting priority access, getting moved to the top of the email list. And so we just, he eventually signed up for my coaching program, got great results. He signed up his girlfriend. And so he would be traveling the world with Arnold. And occasionally Arnie would jump in and do the workouts that I had written with Daniel, which is a really cool thing. And so when Arnold was done in office and wanted to like sort of get back into movies and some fitness stuff, he wanted to relaunch his website with fitness content. Obviously, he was not going to be writing all of it.
Right.
And so they needed some people. So I started writing for the site. I was the first article published there, and I've written a few since. Found a bunch of other people to write. We formed the advisory board. And then when it was time to like really, look into people to write the foreword, he was the only guy I asked. So I was like, I'm a big fan of swinging for the fences. Like at this point in my life, I'm only interested in home runs.
Right.
So I just figured if we can't get either Arnold or Tim Ferriss, then I don't need anyone.
Right. That's a cool story, man. It shows that you really don't know who you're going to meet along the way. And at some point you could meet somebody who could, like you said, just, he just wanted to learn some fitness stuff from you and ended up being your first contact into getting someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger to write the forward to your book.
Right.
Well, you had a really successful coaching career. And do you still do online coaching?
Yeah, my online coaching business is booming. We've actually got 2 programs now. So I've got the one-on-one coaching, which is great. Very time-consuming, so it's higher price point. I can't run as many clients. But more recently, in the past like 7 or 8 months, we started the group coaching, which we run through Photocracy. So I write all of the programming, the nutrition, and the training program. And then one of my RFS superstars, this guy Mike Vacanti, based out of New York City, actually interacts with clients every day, and then I do Q&As once or twice a week. And so they're getting all of my programming, and they're getting hands-on stuff from a guy. I would trust Mike with any one of my clients. In fact, Mike is actually, when I left New York City, obviously I had to stop training my clients there. So Mike took over all of my my like high level clients. He's training Gary Vaynerchuk now. So obviously here's a guy who I would put my mother in his hands. I would put Arnold in his hands, anyone. So I really trust Mike. So when they work with, in one of the coaching programs, they're either working with me directly or with one of my coaches using my programming. So it's cool. The coaching, it goes really well. We have so many amazing clients doing like crazy things. We have people, getting leaner than they've ever been. We have guys doing bodybuilding competitions. So it's crazy. Like we are able now with this new program to work with 3 times as many people, which is fun.
That's really cool. And so, like, you were one of the first guys to really embrace the online coaching. What do you think you've learned over the years? Like, what do you think is the number one thing that people are doing wrong when they come into your coaching program?
Oh man,
not getting a coach sooner, or
yeah, that's a big one. I mean, I think that like the reason that people fail or they don't do what they want to do is because they have no accountability.
Right.
Like, well, I want to lose 10 pounds. Okay. But if you don't have anyone forcing you to do it, it's much harder. And so I think that intrinsically we are only truly motivated to do things that we love or things that are going to get us things that we love. And I think fitness has the capacity to do that for a lot of people, but it's hard to motivate. What are the big motivators in life?
What are the big motivators in life?
Yeah.
I think to be happy.
Happy, but that's very high level. What are the, if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? It's like food, shelter, water, and then at the very top, being happy, self-actualization.
Sure.
Below those, sex and money, right?
Right, the basic things, sure.
Those are the things that actually drive us. We have a sex drive and a success drive.
Right.
So when you have young guys who are very driven by sex, it's easy to motivate them, right? Like when I was a 19-year-old guy, I went through a body transformation because I was like, well, if I'm shredded, I'll probably get laid a lot.
I'll probably get the chicks if I look good naked.
Turned out to be accurate. So, but then, like now I'm married to, one of the most beautiful women on earth. And I'm pretty confident she's going to have sex with me even if I'm not 6% body fat. So sex is no longer the main driver to be fit. So for a lot of guys, married guys, once you remove that, it becomes hard to motivate them, right?
Sure.
So I think we're all motivated by these things. So the big thing with online coaching is when people finally sign up, they're so surprised by how well it works, which is crazy because a lot of people, they're like, all right, I'm going to pay you $200 a month, $300, whatever it is now. We vary based on the time of year. But I'm not really sure if this is going to work. And then when it does, they're like, holy crap, why didn't I do this sooner? The reason that it works so well is obviously my programming is very, very good, but it's accountability and motivation, right? They're accountable publicly because most of the time they tell people I signed up for this online coach, and then all of their friends are like, dude, you're not even going to meet with this guy in person. How do you know he can help you? So they have that public accountability, that desire to prove everyone wrong. The other thing is they have financial accountability. They're paying $300 per month. Like, you just paid for this program. You have to follow it. That's sort of in our heads, right? It's one of the same reasons that guys, young guys, they do really well when they take these supplements. The supplements may or may not be that effective, but when you go to GNC and you pay $70 for a jug of shit, you're going to use it because you paid for it, and you're going to train harder. Your diet automatically gets cleaner. So you have that weird, sort of effect. So I think that's the reason. People are always surprised that it works so well, but it's because they're actually doing it.
Now, since you guys train both men and women, and you get people looking like really good, what is kind of your foundational training program? Like, where do you start people?